All right, I'm going to call us to order. It's 6:15. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Great. We have 4 board members present this evening. Diana is actually attending the holiday concert at Mount Erie this evening to watch her nephews, so she's unable to be here. And thank you, students, for being here. And we're just missing Casey this evening. I will take a motion to adopt the meeting agenda with a couple of revisions. One is 5B, we're going to delete Diana's oath of office since she's not here, and we will move that to January. And under student board rep building reports, Zephyrin will be giving the high school building report instead of Allison. So I will take a motion to adopt the meeting agenda with the amendments.
So moved.
Thank you, Meredith. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Jack. All those in favor? Aye. Great. All right, we have several presentations this evening. We will start with congratulating Meredith on her reelection to the school board, and happy she's on for another term of 4 years with the oath of office.
Okay, before we start, I would like to echo Director Beltramini's thanks to you for running for school board director, and congratulate you on the outcome of your election.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So are we positioned? Okay, great. Good deal. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do hereby solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington.
Do hereby.
And will faithfully discharge the duties of School Board Director of Anacortes School District Number 103, Skagit County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability.
And will.
Congratulations.
Officially sign.
All right. You're official again. Great. So we will now have a presentation from Anacortes Middle School this evening. So Dr. Nathan Plummer and Christy Source, thank you for being here. And guests, probably.
Right. Hello, directors. We have a pretty big, thank you. We have a pretty big crew this evening, and it's just my honor to be able to share some of the good work that we have started at Anacortes Middle School. We have some staff and some students here, and so this is Lana Berman. You want to wave? Give a little wave. Okay. All right, and she'll tell you a little bit about herself. She'll have a little speaking part. And this is Kellen Gee, 8th grade student. And then we have Holly Besmer, who has a lot of different roles, is a math teacher and a leadership teacher and an administrative intern. So dabbling in the ideas of running the show and doing a great job. And my partner in excellence, I was going to say crime, but I'm at a board meeting, so I shouldn't say that. Partner in excellence, Christy Sorcy. So she's our new assistant principal. And I'm super happy that we're here and can kind of share. So I think one of the biggest things that I really wanted to kind of emphasize is just the vision-driven leadership and that we're trying to build at Anacortes Middle School. And so really this mission was actually created in 2007, and the only thing we changed was the order of the words because it's really, really solid. And the order that was changed was to bring safe to the front of it. But the reason I put it back up there, and so Anacortes Middle School provides a safe, challenging, and supportive environment to ensure academic and social success for all. We dug a little deeper as a building leadership team and really said, well, what would it look like to reach our mission? What would success look like, right? And so we kind of created a purpose statement. And if you look at our school improvement plan, I kind of changed a little bit of that. But success means that students take ownership of their learning, strengthen the community, and demonstrate innovation and critical thinking. And so that really is the kind of the formation of what we're trying to present here today, is this idea that students take ownership. And that's really where we're trying to hide. So this is a lot of text, and so I tried to bold the big pieces, but these are all three of our school improvement goals. And what you'll notice in each one of these goals is, especially in bold, is that AMS will increase student voice, community building, social emotional learning that will result in students reporting a greater sense of belonging, that will see positive behavior, teaching expectations, and recognizing success, and that learning implementing universal design for learning, which will be provide student-centered instructional strategies that promote ownership of learning, build capacity for innovation and creativity, and provide access to grade level learning and beyond. And so we're bringing these concepts together, and it really is just a collective effort to go into it. But really, it's like, how are we as a staff, how are we as students owning this thing? And I think above all, really leaning into this idea of building a culture, a strong culture that has a sense of pride, where students take ownership, that they, actually, it's pretty amazing because Ms. Besmer, even today, had how many kids do you think you had, 20? Last 20 to 30 kids that I've decorated for it's Spirit Week, and we have a dance tomorrow. And so like this idea that students are coming in and they are creating a place that they want to be and come in. So it's super exciting, and that's where we get into the heart of not listening to me, but listening to these guys. And so really just working on this idea of building a culture. So I'm gonna start with Ms. Besmer, and I'm gonna let her kind of roll.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I will just speak to this about what Dr. Plummer was saying about culture. So I started teaching leadership a few years ago here, and Mr. Crane, Chris Crane, and I have really tried to build our leadership program. So I'm also the web coordinator. So it really starts with our orientation, where we have leaders come in for like 3 days over the summer, and they get trained to then do small groups for sixth graders as they're coming in. And those small groups it's not like nuts and bolts of middle school. It's like building relationships. And so I love that program because it not only is giving kids a great start off in middle school, and they're kind of like getting to see the school and meeting some people before they come in on the first day. But I think the joy and a lot of what I love about it is just building the leaders, right? So it's creating, building their confidence and their character, and really having them take ownership, which is part of our goals, as like, this is my school. Like, how do I want this to be? And I'm setting the tone for those sixth graders coming in. So starting with orientation is one thing that we do. And then I would just say that, like, Chris Crane and I have been really thoughtful about how we're doing and building our leadership program around two things, like leaders as leaders and leaders as managers. It's really fun to decorate the school, and kids love that. But there's also the leadership part. I would call that management, right? So kids are, how do we run an event? How do I get things like dialed in? And then there's the leadership part, which is like, okay, I hear this at the lunch table. What do I do? Right? I'm a leader. How can I intervene? How can I like take ownership of like, though that's not me having that conversation at the table, I am a leader, and I don't want that kind of talk at my school. Right? So I feel like we do a lot of things like that, little scenarios, so that I just feel really proud of what we're doing in our leadership classes and our programs. And I've had both students here are leadership students today, and that is just speaks to like the cool things that we are doing and their kind of what they've learned and grown. So yeah, that's all I got.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Kellen will come in. I have to apologize. We have so many Hawks things. I put Hawks Night Out, but that's actually a PTSA event, and I mixed that up. He actually, the title should be Trick or Treat Tango, but he's going to really talk about his, so I invite Kellen Gee up. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kellen Gee. I attend AMS. I'm in the 8th grade. Some of the activities that I participate in is basketball, football, and leadership. I've also done 2 years as a web leader, which hosts the 6th grade orientation in summer. I think AMS is an amazing place to grow and learn because of the staff. They make the learning environment fun and interactive. Also, all the teachers at AMS are kind and respectful to all students. As a school, we do a great job of having many extracurriculars such as clubs, sports, and events, so there's something for everyone. I'm part of the leadership class, which hosts school events, plans assemblies, and fundraises, and presents daily announcements. We also clean up after the school because I gotta be honest, sometimes middle schoolers are messy. 2 months ago, we had an event called the Trick or Treat Tango, which was a massive success, having over 500 out of our 600 plus students attend. The reason that this dance was as big of a success as it was because of the work that the leadership class put in the many weeks leading up to the event. Some of the things that we did to prepare were making posters, advertising on social media, and setting up parts of the building, such as the Hawk Learning Center to be a haunted house. The feedback from all the students was that it's a great event. Events planned by the leadership bring the AMS community together in a positive way. Overall, I think AMS is an amazing place. I'm excited to see what's in store for the future. Thank you all.
And then, so Kellen's an 8th grader. Lana is a 7th grader, and she's going to talk about her experience.
Hi, my name is Lana Berman, and I'm a leadership student, learner, and athlete at AMS. What makes AMS a great place to grow and learn is that it is a safe, welcoming place where students feel like they belong and are supported. Teachers make learning meaningful and engaging, and the school focuses on helping students grow both academically and emotionally. Families, students, and staff work together to build a positive community, and everyone is encouraged to explore interests, aim high, and learn from mistakes. Strong leadership guides school towards continuous improvements and creates an environment where every student can thrive. Some things I am engaged in to help improve the climate of our school as a leadership student. I always love to hear and help out and make everyone in our school have a safer and better environment. I also love to hear student and staff voice so we can make the school the best and fun for everyone, while getting their opinions on it and not just getting an opinion from one person.
Good evening. I have the privilege of just talking to you about what we're doing to recognize our students who are just doing a phenomenal job. That's a really important part of building a culture, because we want a culture of learning, we want a culture of ownership, and we also want a culture of good choices and character. One of the amazing things that Mrs. Besmer does with her leadership group is that they have chosen on their own, this wasn't Dr. Plummer or I, an acronym for Hawks that really just kind of highlights some of the character traits that we want to recognize in our students. So H stands for humble, A stands for aware, W stands for willing, kind, and successful. And one of the things that I seek to do, and Dr. Palmer is a great partner with me in this, is attending to those character traits and helping our students to see the value in building that strong character within them and how those traits will lead them to success in their future. So we are working a lot with students, of course, in corrective behavior. That's normal. It's middle school. We're learning, we're making mistakes, we're growing, but we're also being sure to really show them what happens when they demonstrate those character traits and the difference that they make. So each month we have an assembly, and we have kind of name whatever character trait that we're working on from that list that Mrs. Besmer and the leadership came up with. So we just did humble. H is for humble, and we recognized over 35 students that were nominated by the teachers, by all the staff, from the lunch aides, the kitchen, to our most seasoned teacher, all had the chance to nominate and recognize students that show that humility within the classroom and within our culture and celebrate that. Next week, it's the last week before winter break. Oftentimes we see kids that struggle a little bit right before we go on break, but we are really excited to do just a daily nomination, and each one of our teachers are going to have the opportunity to nominate them for any character trait. We're going to give them shout outs, and then they're going to be entered in a raffle, and that's just one small example of the way that we're trying to work with the students, not just showing them what they're doing wrong, but really highlighting what happens when you do things right and how much that's going to set you up for success in the future.
But really what this kind of through line that we're trying to create is the attitude of gratitude. And there's a saying that we have is we fatten the pig we feed, old farming term, right? And so if we're constantly feeding into negative energy, we're going to get negative results. But if we're focusing on those positive things and building upon the great things that are occurring with our students and what they're showing, then we're going to get great results, right? And so a thing that we are currently working on and with both leadership classes, and we'll actually do it next week, is through our FIG process, is to further branch out leadership. And so it was really amazing opportunity. I got to sit down with both leadership classes and engage in this conversation of, you guys are leaders. You were selected for it. You're taking, the management pieces, the leadership pieces. You're putting amazing things into our school. How do we broaden this? How do we make it beyond just the 30 in 8th grade, the 30 in 7th grade? How do we grow this? And so, they gave us ideas and feedback. And so we have subcommittees that are going to help to run student voice and kind of branch this out. And one of the amazing things they said was, it's kind of like, how do we get students to really that can believe that they too can be leaders? There's a lot of kids who want to be in our leadership program. And so how can we build upon that? And so we're creating that opportunity through our Hawk's Nest, which is our Wednesday schedule, our FIG schedule. And so we're using the structure that previously existed to further put students through activities that help us to foster that student voice, get a broadened perspective of student ownership, and really help them to see that you are in control of your future and your learning in this school. And so how are we fostering that ownership? How are we fattening the pig that we want to feed? How are we having an attitude of gratitude? How are we seeing the behaviors that we want? That's our ultimate goal. I think we've made amazing strides in 3 months. But really the work is yet to come, and we're just in our infancy, and we're building upon a really strong foundation that's coming in, but we're excited to see where we go. So thank you. You guys have any questions or yeah?
Any questions, comments?
I just wanted to thank Kellen and Lena for coming. That was awesome to hear about all the hard work you guys are doing. For the adults, you guys are students of leadership, so you're probably familiar with the term transformational leadership, and that's what you guys are doing, using the leaders you've got to try to make more leaders and motivate and inspire as almost, we call it a force multiplier, right? There's a $1 billion consulting industry out there about transformational leadership, and you guys are doing it in our middle school, and that's awesome. So I just wanted to commend you and thank you.
I think that we all know that peer influence is huge, especially at middle school. And what I appreciate about what I heard, especially when Mrs. Besmer was talking about giving students the power to use their voice in situations, because around their peers, stopping behaviors and showing positive role modeling really, and that's hard for young teenagers to do. That's really a bold thing. And so I'm so happy to hear that you're giving power to those words and giving kids the confidence to use those words positively with their peers. So this feels really good. So thank you all for that work.
Yep, I don't have anything other to add other than thank you all for being here, and especially Kellen and Lena, thank you for giving up some of your time this evening to come share with us. We really appreciate hearing from students' perspectives, and anytime you all can come share with us, we just appreciate it. So thank you. Great. Our next guests who have a presentation for us is the Anacortes Kiwanis and Kiwanis Sunrisers Club have a presentation. So we will invite 3 folks to come speak with us.
Good evening. I'm Gib Moore. I'm here to provide you with information about our Kiwanis clubs in Anacortes and how we've interacted with the school district and kids over the last 100 years. Yes, 100 years. I'm an Anacortes grad, former Key Club member, 30-year high school science teacher at Juanita High School in Kirkland, and I've also been a member of Noon Kiwanis in Anacortes for 30 years, so I go back a ways. Last spring, Dr. Justin Irish notified the Fidalgo K Kids and middle school builders clubs advisors that due to budget cuts, there would be no stipends available to these faculty advisors this year. He suggested that we seek other sponsors. Now, these were both Kiwanis-sponsored clubs. We wondered at Kiwanis, of all the dozens of stipends awarded to coaches and faculty advisors, we at Kiwanis ask ourselves, why have they eliminated stipends to our clubs, the K Kids with 52 active members, and Builders Clubs whose advisors are working to make the middle school club successful again after years of neglect? Did they know that Kiwanis heavily supports these clubs financially and provides to each club security-vetted Kiwanis volunteers? Perhaps because the 2 clubs are listed on the stipend document as miscellaneous clubs, not K Kids and Builders Clubs, perhaps he did not know they were Kiwanis-supported clubs, which offer their members leadership potential, opportunities at local, district, national, and international levels. Our clubs are very engaged in community and school volunteer activities. We also suspected that decisions may have been made by those rather new to our community and may not have known the Anacortes School District Kiwanis relationships and how important Kiwanis has been to the schools over the last 100 years. Kiwanis stepped up and funded those 2 advisor stipends for this year, but we fully expect funding to be restored when it's financially possible. We hope that'll be right after February. We're here to address and inform you as to who we are and what we have done and what we wish to happen. We have a video that illustrates how Kiwanis has contributed to kids in Anacortes. Both videos, we're going to show one of 2, were written by Kiwanis and filmed by the Anacortes Broadcast Club. Following the film, Doug Erlandson, Anacortes Kiwanis president, will talk about our 100 years contribution to the schools and community, and our student leadership co-chair, Sally Pullen, will discuss our 4 Kiwanis-sponsored clubs and how they are so important to us. Rachel, we're just going to show that one film, and we'll show it in its entirety.
Hi. Hi. I'm interested in getting a scholarship for my son who's a senior at the high school.
Oh, great. Here's one of our applications.
Thank you.
Do you realize that in the last year we gave over $55,000 in scholarships?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, and if you consider over the last 13 years that your son was in the school system.
Over the past 13 years, we've awarded $600,000 in scholarships to local students in our local community. This year alone, we'll be awarding another $67,000 funded through the proceeds of our thrift shop.
And our in-school K-Kids, Key Club, and Builders Club have received $85,000 in contributions.
And $50,000 has been awarded to high school athletes and Key Club members from the oldest Key Club in the world.
Over $43,000 has been given for early learning, $186,000 for K through 12, and $115,000 for the Boys and Girls Club.
This robotics program was brought by us in 2009, and we've been able to provide nearly $40,000 worth of support in the past 8 years.
Over $265,000 was provided to the Anacortes Family Center, Meals on Wheels, and Island Hospital's Teen Clinic. Just 3 of 102 different community services projects we've supported since I joined the club in 2003.
The Noon Kiwanis Club Manuri Fund has provided over $600,000 to the Anacortes Parks Foundation for many parks and projects like this Ship Harbor Preserve. And we have many more to come.
Wow, I had no idea that the Noon Kiwanis contributed to the Anacortes Parks Foundation. You guys are everywhere.
Yeah, we do a lot, and that's not all.
How about the 1,100 hours we have volunteered over the last 13 years, which has resulted in over $85,000 to help support the Salvation Army work?
And we gave the museum $11,000.
And the library has received more than $85,000.
A kinder, gentler, more civil Anacortes. That's the goal of the Human Spiritual Values Committee. We've contributed some $32,000 in this endeavor.
Over $38,000 has been donated to Fidalgo Dance Works, Anacortes Community Theater, and Skagit Valley Chorale and other artistic organizations.
We've given Island Hospital almost $200,000 for things like infant care, cancer care, the teen clinic, parenting classes, and other health-related programs.
Kiwanis gave $50,000 to get this senior activity center started, and since then, we've given $24,000.
That's a lot. How do you do all that?
Well, you see, we
receive quality donations from a supportive community, which we sort, price, and sell at a reasonable price. And that's how the Kiwanis shop makes its money.
On the truck, I help my neighbors, I recycle, and I find treasures for the shop.
What I like most about working my 4-hour per month shop shift is being able to work with some nice people, meet the public, and know all along that I'm giving back to the community.
Wow. I didn't realize how much the Kiwanis has done for our community. More than $2.6 million in 13 years? That's spectacular. Where would our community be without your club's support?
And we're proud of that. But we're seriously concerned about our ability to continue that in the future. We need new members, people like yourself, to join and help us continue to pay it forward. I hope you consider joining us.
I think what's incredible about this film is it was done by a high school senior back in 2019, and it illustrates what Kiwanis did in the 13 years of Treva's son's education. But we've been around for 100 years, and we've done a lot more than this, like $5 million to date. So, our President Doug.
Hey, thank you. Hey, before I get started, I just want to say, Dr. Plummer, I only met you twice, and I'm very impressed, and we're so lucky to have you in our Anacortes School District. Very impressed. I get the sense that you're very good at what you do. I want to talk about the Action Club. My daughter's a member of that, and that's the adults with disabilities. And there's about 35 members in the Action Club. You know them. They're the guys that recycle computers and TVs once a month down at the lumber yard. second Saturday, 9 to noon. And also, they're the ones out raising money for Meals on Wheels. And only there's like 35 members, only 2 of them drive. And I rode in a car with one of them, and I was screaming for my mother a couple times. So they're out on foot doing that. So it's an amazing amount of money. Over 200,000 they've raised for Meals on Wheels. So that's what we're doing. We're just hoping you guys understand who Kiwanis is, and hopefully that you'll pick up the stipends for our teachers that support our kids. Anyways, over to Sally.
I just want you to know that before our meetings start, our president says, "Who are we?" And we say Kiwanis, and something like, "Why are we here? And whom do we serve?" And it is always the children of the world. And then he says, let's do that to the best of our ability. We've talked to you about the money, and it's important because the money buys things that you all need. But our community is very important to us. I'm a retired educator, and I joined Kiwanis when I moved to Anacortes because of this philosophy of the children of the world. And I go twice a week to volunteer in the band at the middle school and love every moment of it. So, and I've seen changes at the middle school myself. Doug told you about our action club, but we have the K Kids, which is our elementary group, and we have 60 members. I think you've heard about those K Kids, and they are gung-ho. Every one of our groups is about leadership and how you can help kids to actually take charge of their own situation and change it for the better. The K Kids has 3 faculty members that in October worked 30 hours, and they share 1 stipend. They divide it up 3 ways. We have 2 Kiwanians that come to all the meetings. So then we have the Builders Club, which is ongoing at the middle school, and we're rebuilding that, but we have 15 members there. And we have 1 faculty and 1 Kiwanian. And the goal is to aim at self-awareness and leadership skills. You've already heard about the leadership skills that are going on already. And then the Key Club, and I was a sponsor for the Key Club for the past, when COVID was over, then I took charge of that as one of the Kiwanians. And it is focused on community service, character building, and also leadership. I just want you to know that Kiwanis is a group of people, and we're serving for children, just like you all are here. And so we want to want you to know that we're part of that community, and we really care. Thank you.
I'd just like to add a couple things, I guess. Gib and I are both former Key Club members. I was a high school graduate in 1972. I pretty much crawled out here on my hands and knees. But the thing is, you, as a Key Clubber, a K Clubber, and a Builder Clubber, you learn the value of giving back to your community. And the service clubs in our town make our city a better place. The Sroptimists, the Rotarians, the Lions Club, and the Kiwanis Clubs. We're like brothers in arms. And all the parks and all the stuff that we support, it's because of service clubs. And we're hoping that we're training the Key Clubbers that someday, not right away, they're going to go off to college and get married. But if they stick around town, maybe they'll come back to the Kiwanis shop and join the club and get to work for Anacortes. That's our hope. That's what we're doing here. And we're just hoping that the stipends that support the teachers, that support our clubs, is returned. And That's what we're looking for. Anybody got a question? I mean, I think the video tells it the best, other than the numbers are old. They're almost doubled. Those are almost doubled.
I don't have a question, but I just really appreciate you being here and helping us learn more about all the different programs. And we've heard a lot about the K Kids Club. We've had folks from Fidalgo the past couple of years present, but I just really appreciate the more broader picture of all of the things that you all are doing, aside from the things that I already knew in the community, and your engagement with all the kids at the different levels. And we heard from Dr. Plummer about the emphasis on leadership, and I know that I see on here that a question around expanding Kids to Mount Airy and Island View as well. Island View, I know, has had a focus on leadership in the past as well, and so just so important thinking about how having and helping kids learn about community service at an early age and just how important that is. So just really appreciate that.
I want to echo a lot of what Jenny said, but most importantly, thank you. My son was a part of the Builders Club at the middle school last year, and scheduling and the way it worked out this year, he wasn't able to participate in it, and he was pretty bummed. But he really, really enjoyed what he was able to do and learn, and interactions he had with other kids in the projects with Builders Club last year. Jenny said it all, and I want to underscore the thank you. What you guys do matters. It's important, and we're so grateful to have partners like you in the community. So thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to add one more thing I forgot. We're a big supporter of that Rachel's Closet as well, as you might already know. So I'm just tossing that out since we're bragging.
Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening, and thank you for all you do for our community and our schools and the broader community. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to take a picture real quick.
Here we go again, right?
Brady. Great. So we have one final presentation, which is Dr. Frazier, the study and survey for the Anacortes School District.
Yeah, this will be brief. The resolution that you're considering today sort of closes the loop on a process that was started with the 24-25 school year. That's why you'll see the year 24 on the front of it there. Throughout the course of the year, the architect firm Huddleball and Aremus did a comprehensive study and survey of the district. You have seen this, you have used this in your levy planning and capital planning. This is the study that's required every 6 years and updates what's called our Inventory and Condition of Structures, or the ICOS score. And it also has implication to the timeline of the School Construction Assistance Program, known as SCAP. So when you go for a major construction program, the state will match some funding as long as you meet certain requirements, like doing this study and survey, and the board accepting that study and survey. So the resolution tonight accepts the study and survey for what it is. To recap briefly, that was the study and survey that found $13 million in recommendations for our facilities maintenance and enhancements over the next 10 years, $8 million in the next 4 years. Things like safety enhancements, HVAC efficiencies, roofs, windows, doors, water and septic systems, lighting, conversion to LED, exterior encasement projects, including caulking, flashing, encapsulation, siding, upgrades to the playgrounds, pretty much everything related to our facilities. With your acceptance of the study and survey and the resolution tonight, we can close the loop and finish the claim to a grant that pays for it from OSPI. They, surprisingly for this one, they require it and they pay for it. It's an amazing concept. And with this resolution, we'll be able to finish the claim and claim the grant.
Thank you, Dr. Frazier. Appreciate this and really appreciative of, well, for one, that it's funded from OSPI, but also this has been so important in our planning for the upcoming levy and being able to really have like real information from a reputable group to be able to make really data-informed decisions about making sure that when we go ask the community for funding that we have information like this to back up what we're asking for. So just appreciate you shepherding this process forward for us. Any questions about the presentation part? We'll get to the resolution in our new business, but thank you. I don't believe we had any public comment this evening. We had a couple people who I think not mean to sign up. Yep, great. So we don't have any public comments. So we're going to move into superintendent comments.
Great.
Dr. Bruner.
Thank you. So before I begin my report, I want to acknowledge that even though our town has not been directly affected by the flooding, we have a number of staff who have been. Dr. Frazier and I were at Mount Erie this morning, and there were 3 staff who were unable to make it home last night and had to make alternative arrangements. One of those staff has 3 children, and we also have 2 staff at the district office, one who she and her husband own 3 farms in West Mount Vernon and is in the milking business, and they just have really been hurt and worried by what's all has been happening. So not only do our thoughts go out to our surrounding districts who have been directly impacted, but also we're thinking about our own staff who've been impacted and trying to do everything we can to flex in a way that allows them to take care of their and their family's safety. So I want to start off this evening by recognizing the tragic accident that claimed the life of our high school Spanish teacher and coach, Mundo Corrales, on December 1st. As you know, Mundo was a beloved teacher, colleague, and community member who was known for his positive attitude and his ability to build connections with students. I want to extend our gratitude to Dr. Aaron Dewey and Molly Huggins for their compassion and care for AHS staff and students last week. To our AHS counselors, Joyce Benches, Kara Fox, Ashley Poigi, along with school social worker Melanie Ingman, and to the counselors from our other schools who stepped in to support. We're also once again grateful to our numerous community partners for their assistance during our time of need. And those particular partners in this case included Island Health, Anacortes Psych and Wellness, the Anacortes Fire Department, and Northwest ESD. As you know, when we put ballot propositions before the voters, we're obligated to solicit community members for committees to write both pro and con statements for the voters' pamphlet. These committees are limited to a maximum of 3 members. Later in the agenda, actually under the consent agenda, you'll be asked to approve those who have been appointed to both committees. Members of the Con Committee include Judy Billings, Linnea McCord, and Barbara Smart. Pro Committee members include Dave Harris, Jeanette Papadakis, and Liz Lovelet. Speaking of levy, Dr. Frazier and I have begun informal presentations, or rather informational presentations to school staff and union leadership. Following Christmas break, we'll begin presenting to PTA groups and a variety of community groups, particularly over those first 3 weeks, in January. The holidays are always a great time for students to express caring for those in need. Evidence of that is in all of our schools, from food drives to coat drives to carrying trees. Student leadership groups have organized opportunities for their peers and teachers and adult staff to contribute to the well-being of others in our community. I'd like to thank those students and their advisors at this time for their work. I also want to congratulate our Anacortes football team for earning 3rd place in the state tournament, and thank all of our fall coaches and student athletes for representing their teams and our districts and schools so well. The winter sports and winter concert seasons have begun, and there are a lot of opportunities to come out and support our student musicians and athletes in the coming days and week. You can access the schedules for students' performances and athletic contests through our website. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bruner. We will take board comments now.
Dr. Bruner, I appreciate your comments about all the support that our district was afforded from the community, and then also highlighting the leadership from among many others, but not least of which Dr. Dewey. I do want to highlight three other individuals who I think played a really important role. I think, as many people know, there's about 30 or so Anacortes middle school students who have the opportunity to take Spanish. Selfishly for a second, my son was one of them, and Mundo was my son's favorite teacher. And he came home last week and shared with us that under Dr. Plummer's leadership, Dr. Plummer and Miss Sorcy and Sean Flynn, and my kid's not really good with his feelings words, but he came home and told us that he felt cared for because of the services that were provided to them under Dr. Plummer's leadership with his team. So I wanted to make sure that we identify and thank them as well.
Thank you, Jack.
To happier, brighter news, I do want to, we have about 300 students in our school district that actively participate with Fidalgo Dance Works. They're a huge partner of the school district, and there are 3 performances of the Nutcracker at Broadniak Hall this weekend. So if you have an opportunity to come and support our dancers, our students, all the way from kindergartners through seniors, that would be a cool way to come in and show our students that support.
Thanks, Jack. Also just wanted to echo also thanks to the members of the school community and the wider, broader community that supported our staff and students through the loss of Mr. Corrales. And just on behalf of the board, wanted to express condolences to Mr. Corrales' family. We've all been holding that in our thoughts over the last couple of weeks and since the accident happened, and just wanted to express that as a board, that we just really appreciated everything that Mr. Corrales did for students and for the community in Anacortes, and are continuing to think about his family. Any other board comments? All right. We will move then into the student board representative section, and we're going to start with Zephyrin, who has a building report from Anacortes High School.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. So I had Anacortes High School. So I met with Dr. Dewey the other day, and we talked about just generally what AHS is doing well at and what they think they can improve at. So we started with doing well at. AHS is doing really well with student involvement. And as a student at AHS, I can attest to this. We have clubs as well as interest groups. And the interest groups are like Dungeons and Dragons, badminton, and chess. And D&D is a really big one. It's grown 3 times since last school year. And it's held right here in this library. The arts clubs and athletics as a whole are all doing really well. As Dr. Bruno said, our football team made it to 3rd in state. Swim and dive did pretty well. Undefeated. And AHS is also that's not the right word, raising awareness of what other opportunities are opened up by having free and reduced lunch. So a lot of families who qualify for free and reduced lunch don't also know that extends to activities and like extracurriculars. So they're working on raising awareness that does extend to those programs. And AHS tracks the numbers of students involved in extracurricular activities through Final Forms, and it has increased since last year. So there's statistically a higher rate of involvement in ECAs this year. Improving on, AHS would like to, or would not like to, they are working on improving a universal design for learning, which is making learning accessible to all students and removing all barriers. And Dr. Dewey came up with this really nice analogy that I liked a lot, where she framed AHS as a building that used to just have stairs, but now we're adding in escalators, ramps, and elevators. And so any student can come up and take the right path up that works for them, instead of being like forced to take the stairs, which I thought was really nice. College and career readiness, they were tracking graduates through 1 year after graduation to make sure that they're on the correct path through life, and guiding seniors through post-admission, which is a big one because a lot of people don't think about, like they think, oh, well, you applied for college, you got in, great, now go do this. But a lot of seniors don't know what to do after they actually get admitted, and so that's something that AHS is working a lot on, is guiding them through that process, that transition. And this last bit is really interesting and really cool. So Dr. Dewey every other month meets with a focus group of AHS students, and these students are handpicked by club advisors. And she meets with the same group every other month for a focus group to go over the current state of AHS and figure out what the students are thinking, what we can improve on. And she also meets every other month, so she has like these monthly meetings, but like the group changes every month. And this one is the lunch group, which is randomly selected students, and they do virtually the same thing. And she said that through this lunch group, students raised awareness that they really appreciate it when their teachers tell them when they're going to be available before and after school to provide help. And so now, because of that, a lot of classrooms around AHS have, like on the outside, like have a whiteboard that says, I'm available these days before and after school if you want to come in and get help. And I've seen that, like it's in pretty much every classroom, and it's a really good example of the work that Dr. Dewey is doing at HS.
Thank you, Zephyrin. Appreciate you helping us learn some things about what Dr. Dewey's doing. And I love that you shared the focus groups that she does at lunch and then the impact that that had and a change that was made because of it. So thank you. Really appreciate your building report this evening. Students, do you have any other general comments for us this evening?
Oh, there we go. I also wanted to point out the choir concert, which is on Tuesday, December, what day is that? Oh, where's my calendar? December 16th, there's going to be a choir concert at, oh boy, I think the middle school concert starts at 6. Yeah, middle school starts at 6 and then high school starts at 7. And the winter choir concert is always awesome because at the end of it, all the choirs sing Peace, Peace together, and alumni are invited up to sing with us as well. Oh, and we're also singing Carol of the Bells. It's gonna be a jolly old time. And also, I wanted to highlight that last month, just 1 week after the last board meeting, we all went down to WASDA, the WASDA annual conference, and we learned a lot about what other districts in the state are doing, and we're really excited to meet further to figure out what we can apply to our district. Your turn.
Hello. Along with the choir concert, if you're planning on going to the Winter Wonderland walk at Washington Park, Jazz Choir is going to be singing some carols, so make sure you say hi, because it's lots of fun seeing people we know. Yes, that is this weekend, on Saturday. Yes. Yes. So if you have any recommendations or what's the word? Song requests? Make sure you let us know, because we'll definitely sing them for you. Another thing, was it last week? I'm pretty sure last week, Miss Pullen returned from her absence, and it's very nice seeing her at school. I talked to her recently, and there's a different environment when a teacher is gone, and so when she came back, a lot of students were very excited. I don't have her this year, which makes me very sad, but I'm sure the people who do have her are very happy that she's back. And you stole my thing about WASDA, so I'm done.
Madeline's got nothing. All right. Well, thank you all for sharing. Super excited that you all found value in attending WASDA and that you were able to make connections with other student board reps and get connected in with student board rep networks that you can continue to stay a part of and connect with. So excited about that for you all. We are going to then move into our finance update. Dr. Fraser has an enrollment report and a finance report for us this evening.
Thank you, Nikki. All right, thanks, board, for having me up here again. We'll start with the definitions. As always, they are there for anybody who likes to access the report without watching the video or attending today. The summary of changes is positive this month, up by almost 1.4 kids, which is great. Happy to see them coming back. If we are tracking against the average, we're in a pattern that is not average, but nothing really was. The good news is we are still well above the budgeted total. So we're still holding steady. We're not falling drastically, and we will continue to monitor and see what this year's enrollment pattern looks like. Are there any questions before we move on from that one?
Nope, just no questions, but also noticed a similar odd pattern that we didn't lose enrollment in December, which we normally do. So happy about that, and
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see what happens next. We'll see together.
Yep.
So more predictably, our finances are pretty much right where we expected them to be. So you'll see the fund balances there, the beginning, the change, and in bold in the center, the current fund balances. You'll notice an uptick in the debt service fund, which was due to our collections, tax collections, and we will be paying, in December, we have already paid our bond. So you'll see that number go down next month. Everything else is as we expected here. 12.7 million of 50 million expected, so that's ticking right along in our revenue. This is for the general fund only, as that continues to climb towards the anticipated total. Expenditures are very similar, just moving upwards sequentially as we expect. This is where there's a discrepancy between the two. So you'll see that in November, there was a negative $1.25 million change. That, again, was expected. The state gives us about 5% of our apportionment in November instead of the 8.5 to 9 that it would be if they were evened out across the school year. So overall, the difference between our revenues and expenditures currently for the school year is just over $81,000 positive. As I mentioned, it's going very predictably and as we expected it to do. September, the fund balance went down from where we ended in August as we had a lot of beginning of the year startup purchases. In October, we collected our levies, and in November, the state withholds our funding. So we'll be in steady decline until March, and then we'll collect our second half of our levy, be in steep decline until June, and we expect this pattern, as we have been matching the actual to the projection, we expect this to be fairly accurate as we go forward.
And Brian, just on that last graph, we expect this will match because we know when our revenues come in, so we can predict that. But we're still a little bit above the projection each month anyway, despite that's what it looks like to me. At least we have been.
Yes, and we started a little bit higher than we anticipated. At the blue line represents the budgeted guess. So when Mike had set up a fund balance, he expected the ending fund balance to be around 686,000. It was actually about 1.1 million. So that's the difference you see in September. There is the August fund balance was different than what we expected.
Great, thank you. So because we started higher than we had projected, we should see that continue throughout the whole year unless something odd comes up.
Correct. So the deviation will be starting in January because that's when the apportionment for our increased enrollment will kick in. So we may see February be less of a dip and then have increased revenue throughout the year. So hopefully the difference between the two will continue to grow.
Great. Other questions?
I just want to thank you. As you mentioned, or Dr. Bruner mentioned, as we get ready to go out to the community and graciously ask them to continue supporting our levies, I think it's really important to recognize the hard work that you're putting into managing the funds that we have and showing the level of diligence and responsibility that you put into it and that we ask you to put into it. So I just want to acknowledge that and say thank you.
Of course.
Ditto for all of us, I think. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Frazier. All right, we have committee updates. We will start with Jack with the WIA update, and I'll just start by thanking you, Jack, for keeping the board informed and sending us information as you get it.
It only took 3 years, but I'm now showing regularly on their email distribution list. So there are, I sent it to the board members. Community can find it online at the WIA website, but there's 34 rules amendments that will be voted on at the WIA General Assembly in April. One of them is an advisory vote, non-binding because it's not in compliance with state law. The 34 that will be voted on, I don't want to say they're not important because they are important to each of the individual activities or sports, but they're not anything that I don't have full confidence that Justin Ports and the rest of our coaching and activity staff will be able to navigate through. So nothing that really looked alarming. And like I said, 35 in total. One of them is a non-binding advisory vote. If the community has any questions about those, they can find that proposal on the WIA website or reach out to me via email or Nikki, and she can put you in touch with me.
Thank you. Do we have a legislative update from Meredith?
I would just like to say I was excited that we might have some information today, but due to the flooding in Washington State, our legislative town hall that was scheduled, our Skagit County town hall that was scheduled for today was canceled, and my WASDA legislative representative Zoom meeting was also canceled, but they have rescheduled it for next week. So I will update in January if they're moving forward with whatever their initiatives are for the legislative session.
Great. Thanks, Meredith. I imagine we'll have a lot more information in January once the session opens. And hope maybe we'll be able to reschedule the Skagit County Town Hall, hopefully. All right. So we are going to move into new business. We have the first one is the resolution 1016, the acceptance of the study or the adoption or acceptance of the study and survey for the Anacortes School District that Dr. Frazier presented to us earlier. So I think I can just take a motion to approve resolution 1016.
So moved.
Thank you, Meredith. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Jack. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. The next one is resolution 1017, designation of authorized signers for the Anacortes High School Impressed account. I don't know if anybody's speaking to this. Dr. Frazier is speaking to it.
That one got buried. This one, again, is a procedural resolution. We have some signers on our accounts that don't work with the district anymore, and we have new folks who would like to have access to signing on that Impressed account. So this simply authorizes new signers, and they are people who should have access to the Impressed funds.
Great. Any questions? And if not, I will take a motion to approve resolution 1017.
I move to approve resolution 1017.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Meredith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Nicole Tesh is going to talk with us about policy updates this evening, and we have one vote, and then most of them are first reads.
Good evening, Board. This is the policy updates for December 11th. And there's not too many tonight. That was easy on you. Just a reminder to you and to the public, WASDA has changed their language policies, which means all of our policies need to have these adjusted. But this is just a reminder of the 3 different classifications: critical, which was once called, essential; important, which was once called encouraged; and then discretionary. The policies for review tonight are going to be policy 1006, 1815, 2320, and 6895. The first step, we have policy 1006, board members code of conduct. So basically the gist of this one is this is an old policy and it's being replaced with a new policy, which is 1815. And so this one is just a removal of the policy. And I know that this one is a vote, but I'm going to go over 1815 to make sure that you understand what it is before you vote on this one. So this is a first read for policy 1815, ethical conduct for school directors. It will be a new policy because it is a policy replacement. This is in response to that House Bill 1296 that you guys have seen throughout a lot of our policies. So it has a lot of verbiage that replaces verbiage from policy 1006. The purpose of this policy is to follow state and national laws and constitutions and links this to ethical conduct for school board directors.
Great. Do you want us to vote then on, we should vote right now on the
06?
Great. So I will take a motion to remove policy 1006, board code of conduct.
So moved.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Meredith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. And then just as a reminder, the one that is the first read that we just talked about will be on the consent agenda next month.
Thank you. All right, next up is policy 2320, corresponding procedure 2320P, the corresponding forms 1, Form 1 for swim, Form 2, Form 3. For field trips, excursions, and outdoor education, this is a first read, and we're hoping to get it on the agenda for next month. Basically, the purpose of this is to ensure that all of our field trips and outdoor education activities are safe, appropriate, align with curriculum, and that they're approved with our procedures. The revisions that are major in this is verbiage around outdoor education field trips, which we do a lot of in Anacortes School District, so it was nice to be able to add that verbiage in so that we are covered. And also adding in the fact that if you have a field trip in the district, that you must have board approval, which we are already doing that practice, but it's nice to be able to have that policy backed up. And then while we were at it, we updated all the forms so that they are PDF fillable. We are in the century. And this is a critical policy for review tonight. Do you have any questions on this one? Okay. All right, last up tonight is policy 6895 and the corresponding procedure 6895P for pesticide notification, posting, and record keeping. This is a first read tonight and is a WASDA critical policy. The purpose of this one is that the public is notified of pesticide notifications that we do on our school district properties, any postings, and any record keeping, so that we are in compliance with state law. The revisions are not included. The revisions for this policy, I miswrote my presentation, but the revisions for this policy are just keeping it in alignment with state law, making sure that it's a part of our annual notifications, which is posted on our website. Every school newsletter, we're using a QR code in our Pride newspaper, and so we are in compliance more than required.
Great. Thank you, Nikki. Any questions about any of these? Awesome. Thank you for continuing to keep us in compliance with state law and updating our policies. Great. So these will be on the consent agenda in January. So we will move now into the consent agenda for this evening, and just wanted to name just like a technical thing that 13B and 13C we're voting on those tonight. They are not first reads. We read them first last month. So this, of course, all of the procedures and the forms that are attached to the policies we vote on are FYI. The board does not approve procedures or forms. That's up to the district to do. So,
a question.
Yep.
Nikki, the last two items, the warrants and minutes, is that supposed to be items 13F, G, and H? Okay. If there are no other questions, I'll move to approve consent agenda items A through H with the relabeling.
Great. Thank you, Jack. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Heather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. And this concludes our board work for 2025. So our next board work will be in January of 2026. So we have a site visit at Anacortes High School on January 8th, and our regular study session and business meeting on January 22nd, and then our second site visit of 2026 at Mount Erie on February 5th, and then our study session and business meeting on February 19th. So with that calendar reminder, I will adjourn our meeting.
We all go for the microphone at the same time. It's like,